the key to this series is 70 points. He says Clay, Poole, and Curry need to score 70 combined points for them to win. They did it in game 2. In game 1, they scored like 58. In this game, they didn't hit 70 again. And he said that's the magic number. And really, they said of the 3 of them, Clay was the important one. And that Clay, if Clay shows up and Clay has a game, they'll win. If Clay's, not getting space, kind of like you talked about, just that slight loss of athleticism, it's the Celtics, game to lose, basically. So, what do you think? I watch the games, bro. Tell me what you think.
You watch the games, bro. I mean, that's dead accurate. I mean, there's nothing that I could even question about that take. You have any thoughts on Jaylen Brown? So we had Mitch on yesterday, and he talks about how 2016 Wax is actually, I don't know if it's the best investment, but Jaylen Brown is slowly kind of better. I know he's not flashy. I know Tatum's the alpha, but is Brown worth a look from a cardboard standpoint, and how important is Brown's development as a player?
I like Brown. I think Smart's that year too, right? Or Smart's 17. Smart's that year too, I think, right?
Smart's
17.
15.
15, wow. Ingram was that year. So what they were saying, I remember he said, Ben Simmons isn't so great, but you still have Ingram that year. I don't know about Brown, man. Brown looks like that great B. He looks like that Pippen type. Tatum has the hobby love. Tatum has enough people behind him that come out of the woodwork and get angry when I say anything bad about him. Tatum's got the superstar potential, and you usually don't have 2 of those on the same team. You could have 2 very good players, but Pippen was never Jordan and was never in that kind of conversation, despite the fact that he was an amazing player. I think that's what you're getting with Jaylen Brown. I'm going to get a lot of DMs because, during the series, there are people out there who message me and tell me Jaylen Brown's the actual star on the team. A lot of Celtics fans say that. And I'm going to take a different tact. And maybe it's old-time hockey. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a 90s basketball watcher and I like basketball in the 90s. I think the difference in the series has been Williams, not Grant, Robert. I think just him inside is amazing. Grant Williams has been great too, and I want to talk on him for a second. Annoying. But Robert Williams on the inside really creates problems for them on their slashing moves, on their second chance opportunities, and even guarding the 3. Pretty crazy. Even guarding the 3, Robert Williams has been out there, even when he doesn't get a piece, and he gets a piece of enough of them. He gets a piece of plenty of them. Even when he doesn't get a piece of the 3-pointer, he's adjusting it. He's making those 3-point shots tougher. Clay having to slide to the left, which he's not as comfortable doing as sliding to the right on those 3s. And one more piece. The only person showing any real athleticism out there for Golden State inside the paint is Wiggins. Wiggins is bouncy. Wiggins is out there getting second chances. The Celtics get a whole bunch more second opportunities because obviously they have bigger guys inside. Grant Williams was a beast in there, just putting the ball back in, almost unstoppable. When you go with a lineup of like Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, they don't even Draymond, but Draymond, Rob Williams in there. Draymond's not getting rebounds. It's tough. Golden State, they have to hit their shots. You could see, I was watching it in the fourth quarter, they were taking their 3s and running away, like not even diving in. Celtics dive in to try to get a second opportunity. If they miss the shot, there's somebody there to try to clean up. Golden State's not doing that.
Tage, we talked about that. Remember when Wiggins posterized Luka?
Yep.
And I said, but in that series, Wiggins is the most athletic player. Wiggins is the 3rd or 4th most athletic player in this series. You're absolutely right, man. Robert Williams is one of the best shot blockers. And, you'll look and he'll probably have 3 or 4 blocks. But it looks like he's in the way for 10 to 15 plays, right?
Yep.
He only gets 3-4 blocks, but he messes the shot up. Around the rim at the 3-point line. I keep saying, man, I just think we underrate this Celtics team from what they've drafted. You know what I mean? All these guys are drafts. And Horford was someone who the Sixers gave a huge contract. He didn't start with the Celtics, but he was on the Celtics for the majority of his career. Went to OKC, and he just ended up on Boston. But this team, man, they built it through the draft. And Robert Williams is another one that's I think – is it fair to say they have 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates looking at what we see now? Maybe even 3? I mean, I'd say their entire roster is top 20 defensive players in the league are better. Their
You know
entire
what it is that I
first starting
didn't give
five.
him credit for? What I didn't give him credit for, and I'll have to apologize on this, is even though Tatum's the star, nobody is going out there saying it's got to be me tonight. They're all willing to pitch in and contribute however it is that they can. If Tatum's off, he has 13 assists. You know what I mean? Robert Williams is not going to shoot the ball as often. Horford is leading them in scoring one night. You know what I mean? And Horford led them in scoring, but game one, he really didn't get that many minutes in game three. But they won both of those games with a different formula. Good coaching from a first-year coach to, ride the hot hand and figure out what's going on. Grant Williams got the better of Draymond. The refs got the better of Draymond. Their fans got the better of Draymond.
Draymond's a knife
fun
that
series,
cuts,
though.
Draymond's a knife that cuts both ways. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, he has antics, but the antics are what got them the first 2-3 championships in the first place, and how he takes a lot of pressure and attention off the main guys, and he kind of distracts the other team. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's just part of his shtick, and it's funny. Like, it is annoying, and I see why there's all those headlines about him. He should stay off. Do less of his podcast and play, and do less of his podcast and kind of focus on the game. It's affecting his performance, especially on the offensive end. He's always been that guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's podcast. I don't think it's any of that stuff. I think sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It depends how the refs are calling it, and it depends on, whether or not you can get under somebody's skin. And right now the Celtics,
Right.
they but here's the fun thing. You're only as good, momentum's only as good as next day's starting pitcher, right? The Golden State Warriors go out there and win game 4. They've swung the pendulum of home court back to them. And you also have, now it's an even series. It's a best of 3. It's 2-2. So look, obviously you'd like to win game 3. Everybody's quoting that stat that I had out there about how 82% of teams in a 1-1 series that win game 3 wins. And, I'm sure the Celtics are favored right now. If you went to Vegas and had $100, I'm sure you'd win more if you bet on the Warriors right now than betting on the Celtics.